Hey, we're back with the book of Enoch, where we're going through the book of Enoch verse by verse. I apologize, it's been a while. I did bring Benjamin with me this time. He's it's a trek through the woods, pretty thick woods to get to this cave, and ticks are terrible in Missouri. And anyhow, so now that it's cooling off, I'm going to bring him along. But where we've been at in this book is we've reached that place where in chapter 7, where the angels have laid with women, married them, and given birth to these children, this race of Nephilim, and this race of giants. And they mutilated mankind, is what Enoch tells us. So we're just going to kind of pick it up there. This is essentially, we're going to start on chapter 8 in this place where now these fallen angels are teaching their children things that the rest of the human race have not discovered yet. So we're just going to pick it up there, chapter 8, verse 1. And Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and all coloring tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. Now I'm going to pause there for a second, because what we're seeing is Azazel, who is one of the leaders. He's not the leader, but he's one of the leaders of the 200 angels who decided to rebel against God, and they lusted after women, and they laid with women, and then it gave birth to these race of giants. And what it's saying here is Azazel, he taught them metalwork. So imagine being the human race where you don't know metal at all, and all you kind of still are dealing with is stone tools. And all of a sudden, here's this race of giants, and they have swords, and they have shields, and they have breastplates, and they have helmets and axes. I mean, of course they're going to mutilate mankind. It's not just that they mutilated mankind. It says back in 7, verse 2, and they became pregnant and bare great giants, whose height was 3,000 ells, who consumed all the acquisitions of men. And when men could no longer sustain them, the giants turned against them and devoured mankind. And they began to sin against birds and beasts and reptiles and fish, and to devour one another's flesh and drink the blood. And the earth laid accusation against the lawless ones. Well, the way they're able to achieve this is they had a clear knowledge set that the rest of the human race did not have. The secrets of the universe were being revealed to them by these angels. If we compare that to Genesis 6, starting verse 1, it said, Now it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and the daughters were born to them, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men. They were beautiful, and they took wives for themselves, all of whom they chose. And the Lord said, My spirit shall not strive with man forever, for he is indeed flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. There were giants on the earth in those days, and also afterward, when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them, those were the mighty men who were of old. Then the Lord saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every intent of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. So what we see here is really a very, very similar thing, because what you have, is, and Azazel taught men to make swords and knives and shields and breastplates, and made known to them the metals of the earth and the art of working them, and bracelets and ornaments, and the use of antimony, and the beautifying of eyelids, and all kinds of costly stones, and the coloring of tinctures. And there arose much godlessness, and they committed fornication, and they were led astray, and became corrupt in all their ways. So this is that lawlessness. It just becomes a consumer of the earth. It's building your own kingdom here on earth. And that's what they did, was they were building their own kingdom. They were no longer focused on God, but on, well, wait a second, let's just consume mankind, make them work for us. let's make them provide food, let's make them be our slaves. And then whenever they can't keep up with that, we'll just eat them. It was ultimately what this was. And they had the power to do that. They were bigger, they were smarter, and as we'll see in the next episode, they weren't just educated in metal work, but they were educated in all sorts of other things as well. So there you go. Hey, thanks again for joining us. Sorry it's been a while. We'll just keep on digging through, and welcome back to the Book of Enoch.